Hello, my name's Levi Samuel, and today I would like to talk to you about book reviews and why they are so important. So to get started, I'd like to breach the question, what is a book review? Well, I feel a book review is a biased opinion, whether favorable or not, about a book and or product. Considering it's a book review, it's obviously about books. These can be delivered by verified purchasers, or really anybody who's read the book, and they can be the everyday Joe or professional. Really anybody can leave a book review. Why are book reviews useful? Well, first off, they minimize risk. What that means is if a reader is going to consider buying your book, by scrolling down, reading the reviews, seeing if they're mostly favorable, really seeing what other readers have had to say about it, that's going to minimize their risk of purchase. Now granted, most books are less than $5. You can go out and buy a cheeseburger that's going to last you 10 minutes, whereas a book will last you a lifetime. We're not really here to discuss people's buying practices. The fact of the matter is people are scared to spend money, no matter how much money it is. By having a good collection of solid reviews, you're going to minimize the buying risk. With that minimizing of risk, what you're actually doing is establishing quality. Hundreds of thousands of books are published every single day. It's a constant flood, and we are constantly trying to find our way to stay on top. By having reviews, you're going to stand out and above the others in a way that most books won't be able to. And then by establishing quality, you are increasing your chance to sell. And really at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about, is trying to sell the most books possible in order to live the life that you want to live. Another reason that reviews are useful is you get higher visibility with a lot of sites, Amazon being one of them. A book that has a steady amount of reviews is going to be shown a lot more frequently than a book with either a low number of reviews or no reviews at all. Reviews are an organic form of marketing. Everybody's heard the term word of mouth. Word of mouth used to be the primary form of advertisement. If you got people excited about a product, really liking it, just people in love with whatever you were doing, they would talk to their friends, and you have people coming in because so-and-so referred them. I myself have done that numerous times where I've either told a friend about something and then they went out and invested in it themselves, or I've had people tell me something and I go out and look into it. There's some psychology involved. Usually it takes a person about 7 times of encountering something before they really jump on the ball. But word of mouth has always been considered the most important form of advertising. In modern day, now that we're digital age, reviews have become the new word of mouth. If you don't have reviews, readers are going to automatically assume your product is low quality, and they're just going to bypass it for something that's got a ton more reviews, whether the quality of that product is any good or not. So reviews are really going to help you in that regard. You will also gain access to a broader range of promotional sites. Websites like BookBub, they have usually free or 99-cent promotion books. In order to get a BookBub ad, which is an extremely useful promotional tool, you have to meet certain criteria. And even though it's not officially labeled that you have to have so many reviews, most of the time if you don't have at least 100 reviews, you're not going to be accepted into their list. They only select a certain number of books every single day, and if you aren't meeting the requirements that all of these other books are, you're just not going to be accepted. One of the bigger things with reviews is it is social proof, and what that means, that's another psychology thing. There's a lot of psychology involved in marketing. Social proof really just means that if somebody is looking at a book and scrolling through and they see one that's got 1,000 reviews, well, obviously the general population seems to like that book. So they are going to feel like if all of these other people have liked and reviewed this book, then obviously it's something that they need to have, something they need to be a part of. They are getting that social proof that everybody's in on this secret. They have to be on in the secret as well. So they're going to jump onto it and they're going to become part of the in crowd. One of the things that I've always felt about reviews is it is a place for readers to communicate with one another. A lot of times they don't really have that ability. Sure, there are a few chat rooms and blogs and whatnot, but it seems so much easier for readers to be able to talk back and forth to one another if they're just doing it there on the review page. Which that kind of ties into bad reviews. I do not believe that an author has any business chatting in the review section. Even if somebody leaves a bad review, if it can be a great review, bad review, it doesn't matter. In my opinion, that is not the author's place. The review section is for the readers. Now, having had a few bad reviews on a couple of my books, my first instinct is not a very pleasant one. As an author, you're scrolling through and you happen to stumble across a bad review. The first instinct is, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. The very first 1-star review I ever had, the lady literally said that she did not get past the first 3 pages. Right there, it tells me she didn't even give the book a chance. But that's neither here nor there. I didn't lower myself to responding to her negative review simply because she didn't give the book a chance. And the reviews are not my place to step in. That's a spot for the readers to communicate. And then probably one of the most important things about reviews that does not have to do with marketing or becoming a better seller is good or bad, reviews can improve your writing. Now, general stuff like, well, I didn't like it. That doesn't really tell you anything. But if you've got, 15, 16, 30 people all saying the same thing, that they didn't like it for this reason, that's probably something that you as an author want to look at and look at changing in future books. If you have consistent feedback that all says the same thing, you really need to listen to that feedback. And, it can be good or bad. It can be something, everybody loved this one thing. Well, maybe you need to provide more of that thing. Just reviews in general, they can help you improve your writing if you are willing to listen to them. Now, to give you a little bit of truth about reviews, I don't know what the national statistics are. I can tell you in most cases, at least in the circles that I run, it's about a 3% conversion rate from sales to reviews. So if sales are down, reviews are going to be slow. Personally, my review conversion rate is much lower than 1%. I get maybe 1 review about every 300 sales, which just drives me insane. I can get people to give me their money quicker than they will leave a review. And a review doesn't cost them anything. 5 seconds. It can be a long review, a short review, good review, bad review. It doesn't matter. All it takes is 5 seconds to click, 3-star, 4-star, whatever. Click whatever star rating you want. It takes just a few seconds and really you're done at that point. Because the thing with reviews, when you're just trying to get the marketing as far as your visibility and all of that stuff, the quality of your review is irrelevant. At that point, it really becomes all about the quantity of reviews. And the more reviews you have, the better off you're going to be. And really, as an author, you need to be aiming for about 20 reviews to start with, and then you want it up to 30, and then about 50, and then from a 50, you go to 100. And really, once you've got over 100 reviews, you don't really need to worry about them too much, because I don't know of any books that are over 100 reviews that aren't still doing pretty well. As far as places reviews can be left, obviously Amazon's a big one, Goodreads is another big one, but really any place that books are sold has the ability to leave reviews. Even my Facebook page. Really, as long as reviews are rolling in, that's really all that matters. And it can be a collective thing. Now, if you're targeting Amazon exclusively, then pretty much you want everything to be on Amazon. That's just where you need the algorithms to be working for you. The other part of that is don't try to purchase reviews. Don't try to do author review swaps. Don't beg for reviews on your social media. A lot of those things, Amazon especially, is really picky about the reviews. In fact, the definition of a review itself goes against their terms and conditions of a review. Just to give you a little example, several years ago, I used to do conventions about every 2 to 3 months. I was going to a convention and selling out almost every weekend. I had one of my first books, I got it up to 64 reviews. And after one of these weekends, I got home and I was unpacking and I logged on to my account and I checked my Amazon listings. And this book that I had 64 reviews on was now down to 13 reviews. And I I went crazy. I didn't really know what was happening. And I contacted Amazon. I reached out. Amazon flagged my account and removed all of my reviews because they were not in accordance with their terms and conditions. What had happened, it was a lot of these reviews were people that I had met at conventions and had friended me on Facebook. And because they had friended me on Facebook and I had reviews from those same people, even though they were verified purchases, in most cases, if they bought the physical book, a lot of people also bought the ebook from Amazon. They removed all of these reviews. So I went from 64 down to 13 and I was furious. So just protect yourselves, especially on Amazon. You want to do everything that you can by the book to try to keep from having your reviews taken from you. For the meat and potatoes of this little video, how do you get reviews? Honestly, I wish I could tell you a foolproof way to do it. I honestly don't know. I can tell you a few things that I've attempted. I can tell you some techniques that a lot of other authors do. Honestly, there's no way to guarantee it. It's really all up to your reader base. If you've got loyal readers, people that will do what you ask them to do, it won't be too hard for you to get your reviews. But whenever you have people that really don't convert very well and are just so busy with all the day-to-day routines and everything, it's really hard to get them to spend that 5 seconds to leave a review. I've written down a short little list here of things that could help you out. Number one being, and this is something I do myself, in every book I have a little section in the beginning where it's not really an author's notes because I do an author's notes at the back of the book, but I do just kind of a quick shout out at the beginning. And I always make sure to ask the reader to leave a review at both the beginning and at the end of the book. And I do that twice for 2 reasons. One, like I said earlier, a lot of people have to see something 7 times before they're willing to engage with it. A lot of times when it comes to digital marketing, if it's a visual thing, it's 7 times. But if you're asking somebody, usually it's about 3 times. You have to usually ask somebody to do something 3 times before they actually do it. By doing so at the beginning of the book, I'm getting that first request out of the way, first and foremost. Now, the second part of that, I do it at the beginning because we live in a very fast-paced world. Everybody's always on the run, everybody's always moving. So by having it at the beginning of the book, I'm giving people the opportunity to leave a review even if they don't finish the book. If they get halfway through and just life gets busy, and then they go to pick it up again and they start scrolling through and they happen to see that little request at the beginning, since they've already read a fair chunk of it, maybe they'll go ahead and take the initiative to leave a review. And then the one at the back is really just, it's a reminder. You finished the book, go ahead and leave a review at your favorite retailer. That's another thing, depending on where you publish. You have to be careful about how you word that statement. Sites like Smashwords will immediately count your book out if you request a named platform. So really it's safer just to say it's your preferred platform or wherever books are sold or whatever. That's one of the things I do is just I leave a review I leave a request for a review at both the beginning and the end of the book. Another thing that a lot of people do is they reach out to professional bloggers or professional reviewers. And these, you want to be selective because you want to find somebody that obviously does their career or profession in your area. With these people, you reach out, you query them. No different than you would an agent or a publisher. You send them a request to see if they would be interested in reading and reviewing your book. Now, a lot of times these people, they're going to require that you mail them a physical copy. You will more than likely be out the cost of a book, but depending on the size of audience these people have, they can be a really good resource for you. Not only do you end up with a book review out of it, but a lot of times if they've taken the time to read the book and left a review on it, a lot of times they will talk to their own audience about it as well, which is just free promotion for you. Another thing a lot of people will do will be review promotions or giveaway things. This one takes a little bit of explanation. It is against most terms and conditions to directly give away stuff for leaving reviews. There are a few loopholes you can use though. A lot of times being if somebody has already purchased the book, you can have a key code somewhere in the book, at the end or whatever, whatever the product is, have a key code where if they go to your website and put that code in, they can be entered for a chance to win something. Now, part of that, you can request that they leave a review, but it cannot be a mandatory thing. That's just giving you another chance to ask for the review. I bought a DVD burner not too long ago, and when I received it, I had this little scratch-off card with a code on there. Well, I scratched it off, and I went to their website, and I put the code in, and they were offering a $10 Amazon gift card, which I paid $20 for the thing in the first place, so, of course, if I can make half my money back, I'm going to. But I did the little scratch-off thing, and in the registration, they prompted me to leave a review on the product. I did a quick test on it, made sure everything was working, and then I went ahead and left a review just to kind of round out my setup of my account. In doing so, not only did I get the $10 gift card, but because I was, registration so-and-so, I got another $5 gift card. So really, I only paid $5 for my DVD burner. I don't know how well that would work with books. Be creative. We're creative types, so, do what you gotta do there. Another way, again, it's all about reminding people as many times as possible to leave a review. And you can do this with your email list, and if you're careful with your social media. You want to be really careful about what you ask people to do on your social media, because a lot of times the people that are on that platform aren't necessarily followers of your work. A lot of times those people are going to be friends and family, and they don't really get what you do professionally, but they're there because they're attempting to support you. And while that's all well and good, if you ask for reviews on your social media and the wrong type of buyers happen to be the ones to get that message, and they're like, well, I want to support them, so I'm going to go and leave a review, that can screw up the metadata on your book and put your book into the wrong selling categories, and then your sales will plummet. So you want to be real careful about who you target to do this. If you have your Aunt Betsy who's really into gardening, and your epic fantasy has nothing at all to do with gardening, you don't want your book being advertised and promoted to a bunch of gardeners, because you're not going to get anywhere. So that's just one thing to think about. I'm sure I'll do another video on metadata stuff at some other time, but not right now. And then just to kind of wrap up my little list here is, and this is going back to the terms and conditions of review sites, never pay for those reviews. You can purchase packages to aid you in getting potential reviews, but never buy reviews directly. I'm not going to spank you or anything, but just try to have some integrity. We're all trying to do this and become professional and really do the best we can with what we've got. If you find a way to scam the system, just be careful with it. Try not to step on toes or really do anything that's going to damage your integrity. Anyway, that's all I've got for you. Once again, my name's Levi Samuel. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to this video, or my channel, or any of that. And we will see you guys again in 2 weeks. Have a good day. Bye.